Bitcoin just kept blowing its opportunities to rise significantly higher, and now I think it's in an extremely bad, dangerous place. It's already initiated the next dump downwards. I think this could take it very low. I'm going to be breaking down for you exactly how bad this looks for me on this chart and how we could still recover from this if God is on our sides. We don't really know. We're going to have to get straight into this analysis to dive into it, and I'm going to be breaking down for you a little bit about the trades that I'm going into as well in this market, because I was actually in a short trade. I'm still in a short trade right now, which is currently sitting at about a 20% profit, because I saw this drop coming and I wanted to trade it earlier. So let's get straight into this one. Well, Bitcoin ended up breaking above this descending triangle blue resistance line that I've had for a while now. If we zoom out, pay attention to just this blue line and this blue box. It paints a descending triangle a little bit like this. That's a perfect kind of triangle, a descending triangle formation. And this is a chart pattern which shows us that pressure is compressing to the downside before potentially popping and exploding downwards massively. This is something that if you were subscribed to this channel, you would have seen a lot of my analysis on already, because this is quite a popular chart pattern in the markets. We form this a lot, and it usually does lead to drops for Bitcoin. Now, this is something I was talking to you about in a recent video, recent live stream. So if you're not already subscribed, you would have missed that. Make sure that you don't keep making that mistake in this market right now, because this is definitely the time that you need to be in, and you need to be paying attention to what's going on in these markets right here. So if you didn't already know, there you go. These descending triangles usually do lead to big drops to the downside, as we can see right here. This is what took us down to $3,000 back in 2018, 2019. And right now we are in another one. But what Bitcoin did that was actually impressive for the bulls was that it managed to break out of this descending triangle, and actually by a decent amount, by about 4%, but the subsequent drop was quite large. And this is what I was saying to you, where actually while Bitcoin did manage to break above, it's now already fallen by, at this point it was about 7%, which I said made Bitcoin look pretty weak in my opinion. But Bitcoin tried to do the same thing again, and it actually did. It ended up peaking up at $40,000, which was again another bullish thing in this market. But Bitcoin still could not keep these levels, and we've ended up plunging back down. And this is really important to keep in mind. You know, when we talk about last chances and Bitcoin failing things, you know, what Bitcoin did here was it made two real attempts at breaking out and not conforming to this current bearish trend. It made real attempts at doing this, but it just couldn't cut it. Bitcoin just couldn't cut it. And that's a really big deal, because while we're already in a bearish market where the default movement is down, right? And you can't deny that. If we zoom out and we look at this, the default movement in this market for a long time has been downwards, right? This is over a month that we've been in a downtrend now. And first, I mean, there's two real ways you can tell if you're in a downtrend. Number one, have you been trending down for a lot of time? Yes, it's been a month and a half. Number two, have you trended down by a big percentage? Absolutely 100% yes. From our all-time high, we're down currently by 46%. So this is a big downtrend, right? Bitcoin is nearly halved from its all-time high compared to where it is right now. And that all tells us that the default in a downtrend is moving downwards. And so to see that the market has tried to break out twice, it's had real attempts twice, both of them got shot down, that told me very clearly that this thing could be ready to drop significantly lower. And that's actually exactly why I ended up taking up a short position inside of the 4Flies VIP group. All VIP members got this update well before the drop really even happened. Actually, it was right before the drop, and then the price went back up. And then it fell back down again. And right here, I mentioned to all VIP members that I would be going short on Bitcoin with 5 times leverage. I would be choosing this entry level, which I actually made more aggressive later on. So my entry level was a little bit better than this with these targets. At first, I decided that I would not be trading this. But then about 1.5 to 2 hours later, I told VIPs that I've decided to do it. And I broke down everything for VIP members right here. So this is how every trade that I share in VIP gets shared. I give a little bit of an overview of what's happening in the market, and then I outline kind of what I'm seeing and why I think that a certain direction could be where Bitcoin is headed. And then when I'm in that position, I'll be giving real-time updates on how I'm navigating it as well. So this trade actually had a slightly special way to enter orders. I'm using Bybit, of course, which is, as always, linked in the description down below. This is one of your final days to get that $1,600 deposit bonus, by the way. So use that link down below if you've been ignoring it so far. I've actually made a full tutorial on, actually this one wasn't by me, this was by our new video guy who made a full tutorial video on exactly how to set these kind of orders on Bybit. And by the way, this works for, you know, nearly every other exchange. It's usually quite similar. So I mentioned this video demonstrates how I set momentum orders on Bybit for trades like the one I shared earlier today. And of course, we've got a few more tutorials like the main one right here as well. So VIP has got this information on the trade I was making, plus a tutorial on how I'm actually making these kind of trades, and there's a whole lot more that goes into it. You know, we've also got our amazing Four Flies Academy, which we got a very cool testimonial for. This one's a big deal. A high school teacher right here mentioned that I did a great job with my advanced trading academy. This is what our yearly members get completely free of charge. It's a $2,700 course. You're getting it free with your yearly membership. This person having mentioned that they've gone through a few of the video lessons and really enjoying them. Modules are organized really well. This is our course where we're teaching you everything about trading Bitcoin and crypto, specifically analysis, trading principles, the mechanics of it, everything from A to Z that I know. You can find the details for absolutely everything with these steps on screen right now. Click on the first link in the description down below, then on the @4flies button, and then on the send message button to ask me how to join VIP. We had serious scaling issues. We were looking at shutting down VIP registrations. It's still pretty bad, but we have hired new people, and so we're actually keeping up with the load. So now you guys can't tell that we're having issues, but we are still working through a backlog. So if we're slow, please bear with me. We are getting through everything. VIP is still popping off. Members are still pulling beautiful profits. Take a look at this right here. But let's take it back to the charts right now, because this is a drop that I've been saying is coming for a long time. I'm very glad that it's finally happened. You know, we have had 2 fake outs, which was actually quite surprising. But since then, I mean, we are now trending lower, and it doesn't take us by surprise. You know, we have all the same resistance that I've been outlining to you guys for a long time. We had this massive 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. I was telling you this would be very strong resistance. Bam, Bitcoin got rejected. Bam, rejection again. This is so clear that we were finding rejection right here on the 1-day time frame. We've also got EMA, I'm sorry, on the 4-hour time frame, we've also got EMA resistance. So there's a lot that really contributed towards this trend starting to get knocked downwards. And those of you who watch this channel regularly, you know that I don't do very complicated analysis, but these Ichimoku clouds and EMA ribbons are so useful. So if you don't already know how they work, then please watch my tutorials on them by typing this in the YouTube search bar. And of course, for the EMA, type this, watch these 2 tutorials, and then come back to this video. They're very important. Just type in exactly what I had on screen. And what this has done now is it's meant that we have definitely broken down. You know, we've not only broken down from this kind of support level, but we also had this wedge that some of you guys may have remembered me showing you in a recent video. So we broke down from this wedge pretty convincingly. We actually, depending on how you draw this, we've even come back up to back test it. Actually, no, we didn't. No, we didn't come quite as high to back test it, but we did hit the same area of resistance again, which was definitely great. And so we've fallen out of a lot of bearish patterns. And you know, there comes a point where you're going to fall out of a lot of bearish patterns, but you might still be convinced that you're bullish or whatever. There comes a point where you've got to say, right, okay, this thing is done. You know, like this thing, it's weak, it's dropping. What are you going to do? You know, eventually I do obviously think this is going to recover higher, but right now as I'm speaking, it's setting new lows that it hasn't seen for a few days now, and that just means more profits coming in for a short position. So you can sit on the sidelines and wait. You know, I call this just sitting there holding your dick in your hand because you're fucking clueless, and you can just wait for something special and nice to happen to you. Or you can learn a little bit about what it means to be a trader in this market, because you don't have to lose money on the way down. You can make money on the way down. You can make money on the way up. You can make it on the way down. You know, in these markets, bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered, to quote Crypto Kirby. It's not his quote, but he's the one who said it for the first time when I heard it. And that is a very important thing to keep in mind. You know, if you don't know what's going on, or you haven't studied it, or you're scared, or you don't really understand the mechanics, you're just going to sit there losing money when the market drops like this. But right now, this is something that I think was fairly easy to see, and if you're positioned to trade it well, just like this VIP member right here was, 108%, 74% profit. you can be making these kind of profits during a crash, and that I think is an extremely powerful position to be in inside of these markets. So where do I think Bitcoin is going to go to next? Well, there's not much support on this chart right here. I don't see much support for Bitcoin right now. It is just hanging on to its final kind of support that I see right now around the $35,000 level right here. This is kind of the best it's got right now, but if it does drop below this level, in my opinion, if it does drop below this level, it's not got any more support until you start seeing levels like 32,000. So from here, and this is not good support as it is. There's a candle, there's a candle open close here. There's a couple wicks. There's a little bit. There's some consolidation right here. We bounced off this earlier today, so there's a little bit. Don't get me wrong. There is something here, but it's quite weak in my opinion, and I certainly think that these kind of support areas up here were much stronger. I certainly think that these areas were much stronger as support. I'm actually going to remove these drawings now. These were actually just for the charts that I was sharing with VIPs when I was telling them about the trade I wanted to take. But 38,000, definitely a much stronger area of support in my opinion. And to see that these things are failing, to me, these are definitely signs that this market is actually in quite a weak state. So I don't see how a weaker area of support, something that I perceive to be weaker, is going to be able to keep the trend up if this support couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, if this strong support failed, then why would this weak support hold the market? And I don't see any support lower than this until we start hitting this blue box. There's no reversals that have happened in this, and I'll just draw the box to illustrate this to you now. Draw the box representing this range. This whole green box is pretty much just empty. Nothing has really happened here. If we fell into this green box, we usually fell down to the blue box. If we went out of this blue box into the green, we usually left the whole thing. We never really, with this just one small exception here, we never really throughout Bitcoin's history have done a whole lot of interesting things in this range. And I think that's very important to keep in mind, because that does mean that that means if Bitcoin falls into that kind of, what I call a vacuum, it can just kind of teleport to the next place, to the next area. And that's where trade setups start looking very attractive, because if you're able to see those kind of gaps, this is not a big gap anymore, to be fair, but it's still something. It's like a 5-6% gap down to the blue box, and there's a big range inside of the blue box as well. If you're able to kind of see these moves, and if they actually play out the way I'm expecting them to, they can turn into very easy tradable ranges. That's exactly what I was looking for with this position that I shared inside of VIP earlier. It's something where I saw that Bitcoin could easily drop quite quickly if it were to enter a range like this, if it were to enter a vacuum like this. And that to me meant that Bitcoin could be set up for a pretty nice drop. And that obviously would be some pretty predictable TA that you could carry out right there as well. So some nice support to be found here. I don't know if Bitcoin will find support here. This is very well spaced out if Bitcoin does bounce down. So I think that would actually be pretty good to find maybe one last rejection right here. And then definitely I think this thing is poised to collapse. It doesn't mean that it has to. My stop loss is at break even now, so if this trade goes sour, I'm not going to lose any money. That's one of the key things that I show VIP members how I'm doing all the time. It's right here as well. I mentioned my stop loss is being lowered to break even now, so it's impossible for me to lose on this one. The trade's already hit more than a 20% profit. My end target is down closer to 50%, and again, this is a very safe, clean profit. This is a textbook trade. This is executed very well, so I'm really not too worried about what happens now. But I do, obviously it would be great for my position if the market did collapse below this level, and as eventually I do think that it kind of has to, because the main thing that makes this thing dangerous in my opinion right now in this market is the fact that this market has had a lot of chances and it's kept ruining them. It broke out above this descending triangle twice, but it found more resistance and it ended up falling down. When you do that in a bearish market, what you're doing effectively is the bulls are having a chance to take you higher. They're testing the waters. Are the bulls strong enough to actually take the market higher? If they fail, it's showing you that the answer is no. And if the answer is no, you've got to go back to your default. Your default in this case in a bearish market is trending downwards. It's just very simple, realistic analysis. It doesn't take into account how you feel. It doesn't take into account where you want your investments to go. This is very realistic, bare bones analysis. And that's how you need to be in these markets if you want to find success as a trader. If you don't want to find success and you just want to pamper your feelings and feel happy and positive, then go smoke some weed and do whatever the hell you like. Maybe keep your passive investments and I'll see you in my Ferrari keep riding the bus because you're not making good decisions and you can't commit to anything serious. You know, I mean, that's the game of trading. It's very brutal. It's very much the decision maker takes the risk taker either ends up homeless or in the Ferrari. That's the game of trading, you know, and if you can accept that, good for you. If not, good luck, you know. I mean, you know, you don't have to. People who don't will be feeding the mouths of traders like those inside of VIP who are doing quite well. But of course, if you want to be one of those decision makers, you really want to take it to that next level, just that decisive, you know, those game-changing moves that you can be making in these kind of markets to profit during these crashes, then VIP is for you. You know, not only is this something for advanced traders who, you know, want to see how another trader they respect is trading, and you want to get all the insights into every trade I'm making, just like what's on screen right now, and also the insights into the investment positions, because I told all VIP members that I'd be selling my Ethereum right when Ethereum was up at $4,400. You know, VIP is a lot more than just that. There is also, of course, the advanced trading academies that we have as well, where you can learn about trading from start to finish. You know, even if you don't know anything about trading, if you're completely new to it, we've got a course designed for you to take you from the ground up. I literally designed it so that somebody in a completely unrelated field who's never touched trading before, literally like a janitor or whatever, you know, a chef, can come into this course and they can exit it knowing everything I know. We've had very, very good success with this course. You know, people who have never really traded before, don't really understand any of the terminology. We've broken it down just like these videos break things down. We're going even simpler in that course, and it's all right there for you inside of the 4Flies VIP group. So reach out following these steps to find out what you're currently missing out on. We are running a discount right now, so this is your time to get in. The price is beautiful right now with Bitcoin. This is a great opportunity to get in 4Flies VIP. We're always expanding the team, as you guys can see very clearly. We were making some of the biggest expansions ever this year. It always happens to be that way, to be honest, but that's very cool. And by the way, if you're a little bit hesitant and you are still a new trader but you don't really want to pay for VIP yet, then go ahead and click on my YouTube channel and actually find this video right here: how to turn $1,000 into $1 million. This is an ultimate in-depth trading guide for beginners to get you started. This is going to give you a feel for how the content is inside of our course. If you can understand this video, you're going to understand what's inside of the course. You're going to understand what's inside of VIP, because we're breaking it down for you in these easy, chewable steps. This is these digestible steps even. So this is what we're all about. Watch this video. If you're a little bit hesitant, you just need to click on my profile, go to my videos, and you need to scroll down to about 1 month back where I made this video, and it's the only video with my face in it, so it's pretty easy to recognize. Find that, watch that video. It's going to take 50 minutes of your time. It could be worth way more than that. So please do check this out. If you are looking for an exchange to use, then Bybit is currently offering you a $1,600 trading bonus when you sign up using the link in the description down below, which means that depending on how much you deposit, you're going to be getting up to $1,600 completely free of charge, which you can use to trade. You can do whatever you like with it. You can throw it in a stupid gambling trade, make profits on it. If you keep the profits, it's yours. If not, you don't lose anything. You can use it to experiment with the exchange, press around with some of the buttons. No matter what, this is the best exchange to be on, in my opinion, and this is a great time to sign up with that incentive. They've just launched Ethereum USD futures, which means that you can even trade Ethereum without any fees, and that is pretty damn cool. So definitely check this out. You know, there's a lot going on with Bybit. In my opinion, they're the best exchange, way better than other exchanges like Bybit, way less shady, way less downtime, much more reliable exchange. If you ever have any issues, you can contact me, because I have my contacts at Bybit, and I can help you expedite your issues. I can get your issues seen by the right people and different things like that. So all in that link in the description down below for you to sign up to. That offer ends very soon, and there is a tutorial down below as well in the description, so that if you don't know how to use Bybit, you can also watch it and get the terms with that. So there you go. I think that this market is poised to drop down to $32,000 if we go down that low. I think that there's a chance of support, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we dumped lower. And if we did dump lower, I'm looking at targets like $24,000, $25,000, potentially even as low as $21,000, $22,000. And then eventually, I obviously think we're going to be bouncing back up. I obviously think we're going to be setting all-time highs. That's a very easy question for me. I just think it's a matter of when, not if. So there you go. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. This is your time to get into VIP. If you're still curious, the discount is waiting for you. We're waiting for you to send you all the information as well. We're getting back with that backlog now. We had a pretty big backlog. Most of it is now finished, and that we've caught up with everything. We've got new systems in place so that this can't happen again. Most of you probably didn't even notice anything, but that's because we've dealt so well with scaling issues before. It's just that this recently definitely kind of caught us by surprise, because obviously we have been on point with the market lately, and you know, you've seen me in these profitable trades like I'm in today. Other VIP members also doing very well. So if you want to get into this, then of course now is your time. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to hit up those likes and subscribe if you're new to this YouTube channel. This is very realistic analysis. If that's what you like, then here it is, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.